we competed every week with those girls, and we always made the final series. So for me to be able to start that team and create an opportunity for girls to actually play rugby league, and since then, again, changes in rugby league. So we had the first ever team in Newcastle, and now we have up to 14 women's teams. We have a 13s, 15s and 17s competition with over 8 teams in each competition. I currently coach at Hunter Sports High, where I get to run year 7 to year 12, and they're our future generation. So lots of changes in footy, and just that switch between rugby union was already established in Newcastle, so to give girls an opportunity to play pretty much was the main reason behind that shift to rugby league.
I've always played heaps of backyard footy with my boy cousins, and this is what got me into it. When you were a kid, did you play backyard footy with family, and what pushed you to be so passionate about it?
Yeah, of course. Competition with your cousins, your close cousins, has always been something that sort of pushes you to play. And I was fortunate enough to live across the road from a park and my little infant school. So from an early age, we would get home from school, over to the park, play our footy until it got dark, and then you'd head back home for dinner. But yeah, I guess for me, that's how you start to establish your skills. So a lot of people think that when you're playing elite level footy, that's where you get your skills. But you actually get them from grassroots. You get them from playing with your cousins and playing with your family and friends in the backyard. So for passionate, like passion comes from yourself and what drives you. And for me, especially in elite level footy, like you always have to have your why. So we always think about what drives you to get up and train, what's your why to play football. So I love footy, and I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to play footy. And for me, my whys is my family and my friends and all those people who supported me. So I've been playing footy for elite level footy for over 20 years, rugby union and rugby league. And my whys are about giving back to those people who supported me along the way. And yeah, that's where the passion comes from.
I wanted to start playing competition rugby when I was 7 years old, but one parent wouldn't let me play until I was old enough to play in an all-girls team and not with boys. What things got in the way of you playing?
When I was younger, my focus was little athletics, so I had a big focus on sprinting and running. Yeah. So I guess you learn your core skills from there as well. And then I moved to netball, and I had an opportunity to play netball. And I think when you're younger, you do move to those female-dominated sports or girl-dominated sports when you're younger. And what got in the way, I guess, for me growing up was that there were no competitions available. And I would hope to see that is the main thing that's changed, that there's competitions for you young girls to play. I guess parent support, like my parents have always supported me throughout my journey. And it's hard when you sort of got that mix between one parent and one parent no. But I guess growing up knowing that no matter if you learn the basics and with footy, tackle technique and safety around it, that's definitely one thing that you can talk to your parents about, and then progress from there. So there are girl competitions available now, especially for people your own age. So that's a great thing, and you can go out there and test your skills out.
Yeah, I started athletics really young, and then I only stopped doing it at the end of this season.
Okay.
And then I was been doing netball for a bit over nearly 2 years.
Yeah, awesome.
And then felt footy this year when they made a girls team.
Yeah, excellent, really good.
Personally, I found it hard to step into a boys' sport because the boys were sometimes watching, and I worried I wouldn't be as good as them. Would you have a message to inspire and motivate young Indigenous girls to play footy?
Yeah, this is a really good question, Paige. And I think that the two main messages that I would sort of want to get out there is comfort zone. You need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. So we can live in a little bubble. We can live in our bubble and not sort of push ourselves to be what we want to be. But if you love footy that much and you want to play footy, then you go for it. So you don't want to have regrets in your life where you sit back and sort of say, oh, what if I could have done that? It's more about stepping outside of that comfort zone. So no matter what, whether it's a boys team or a girls team, we're going to make errors in life. You have to learn from those errors, and the next thing that sort of flows into is resilience. So you need to be resilient. You need to pick yourself up, dust yourself off if something happens, learn how to reset and go again. Okay, so for me throughout my footy, I've had ups and downs. I've been able to sort of show resilience. And as an Indigenous person, like our whole culture is based on resilience. And you know, in the past, what has happened to us as people, and the ability to showcase how strong we are now. The same thing can cross over to footy. So if you make an error, if something happens, or if you're in a male-dominated or boys-dominated sport, it's not about what you've done; it's how you react to that. So it's about what your reaction is after that. It's the next step that you take. So for me, it's just pushing yourself. Get out there, have a go, and be confident in yourself. As a young girl, as young women, be confident in who you are, and you know, usually we're better than the boys anyways. So.
Fair go.
Thanks heaps for coming in today, Beck. It's been inspiring to hear your story and get to meet you.
No worries. Thank you so much, Paige.
Thanks, Paige, and thanks, Rebecca. Now we're going to play a song called From Little Things, Big Things Grow.
Done. Good work. Well done. Thank
Very
you for
good
coming
interview.
in. So good. No worries.
Very good interview, Rebecca.
I think
Very
you've done
good.
this before.
Couple
Yeah.
times. Not this. This is the first. Really good. Great questions.
Now you handled it very well.
What do you want to do?
Well, excellent.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
Because it was rough, sorry.
Tyler, you want to come and change your things? Which one?
Now, can we have a slight change?
Okay. Which one is, because Tyler's next, which one's Tyler's interview, because there's two here.
So it's the anti-hungry one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Warren, do we need to play the news straight away or? No, it's all good.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, awesome. Because we've got lots of time to go.
What about weather?
From that conversation, it was really nice to have. Would you like to tell us, did you ask a question, Kat, about what it was like captaining the Stars? Let's answer that. What was it like captaining the All Stars? And then what was it like going overseas? Can you ask those two questions?
Oh, no, because I
Beck, she's going to ask you two questions. What was it like captaining the All Stars? And what was it like going to overseas? Overseas, just a number of them. Yeah?
Well done.
His news first, isn't it?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll catch you up with all that later.
Because we're running ahead of schedule, so.
Are you? I'll throw in a couple of songs.
Most of the time,
There's plenty of
I was
songs.
seven
Yeah,
hours
exactly. Plenty of songs.
Yeah, so we're just good conversation, a bit more. Uncle Warren could even come back in for another yarn. You could have a yarn with Beck. Yeah, that'd be inspiring. Hey?
I tell you
We
what,
could sit you after that. You could sit with Beck and have a
We
little
do
yarn.
finish at 11.
I think you may got to flick it over to Rebecca. And she'll go well. Just got to flick it over to her, and I'm sure she'll fill in half an hour if you want.
I think she's done it once or twice before. You've done well, girl.
Because I said to Michael, I said to Mick about it, he goes, about it.
Yeah, because I was away last weekend when Sonia
Yeah.
emailed me to say you're on.
Yeah. He goes, no, don't nothing about it,
But I
bro.
said, if you can be a coach at 10, because I'm going to be on there till 11.
Oh. I said, they said you had a certain amount of time, right?
I didn't think you'd stick to it though.
I said, I'd rather talk out in the bush than in here.
That's like that. That's
Yeah.
said,
That's why I never
rave
done
on
this
it.
before.
No, they're right.
I can rave and rave on, but when it has to do questions and do a public speech, that's different.
But see, you can grab the microphone in the middle of the field, and away you go.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's the same as me when I'm out in the bush. I'm comfortable, I'm really comfortable.
This is me on Wednesday.
Good, it's not an
Yeah,
hour.
that's me.
Because we're going ahead of
I
schedule.
thought he was speeches
So what
at
time
tomorrow
is it?
morning.
I've
It
never
was
done
10
like
to
live.
10.
I've always been like on the phone on the
One
Can I
way
ask a
to
question?
do it,
Yeah.
so
Once
we'll catch
Paige
up.
asked you a couple of questions,
Yeah.
would you
No,
be happy
no.
if Uncle Warren sat down or came in and Paige said, you happen to know Uncle Warren, how do you know each other? Would you do that? Because that would be really special, it's a bit spontaneous. What about you, Beck?
Yeah.
Well, no, the next one too, come.
Yeah, but
No
let's
one
just,
else
one
coming.
first thing,
Daisy.
no, she's,
Oh, right.
she's
Yeah, or
recorded.
recorded.
She's
You
my-
tuning in, Joyce.
She's my cousin.
Would you be happy, why don't you've asked those two questions, is just to say, and I hear that you know Uncle Warren.
We had Uncle Warren in the
And
studio
then you can
earlier.
stick your head there and go, yeah, I know her. How do you know each other? Can you do that?
Oh, yeah, we heard this through Mick.
Yeah.
Through Mick.
Or something else you want to talk about?
What else could you do? What else would be something
Because
that
we've got some time.
I'd be happy to say like Uncle Tags, how he's a well-respected community, like an elder in our community, and he's someone that we look
It's
for.
whatever you're comfortable
And then
with.
we'll link it back to Naidoc and we'll talk about always.
Must,
So you have a conversation, and that means that once you've finished your two questions, you'll come out.
What I wanted to talk again.
Uncle Warren will sit his butt down.
But you can sit here and I'll sit next to Paige.
I just got.
Alright, get ready.
Say what you're comfortable with. We'll do some photos afterwards.
Still, is it me? I just got nominated for the 2020 Australian Dreamtime Person of the Year.
Really?
Could you bring that up?
No.
Yes.
No, I don't know even. I don't even know the bloke who nominated me.
Doesn't matter. Shouldn't that?
What about you? Yeah, it is, but
Just have a conversation. It'll be good.
That would be good. We won't bring it up Beck, right? That's all I have.
Yeah, I might accidentally say it on
Yeah, thanks,
radio
Beck.
live.
I heard your word. Thank you, Beck.
Yeah.
I like how you show people.
I've got to read them up because I've got to find out what's going on. I've got no idea. All this is I've got an email.
That's massive.
The channel, you're talking to the channel.
Yeah, they've got to talk in the morning.
Our dance group's got
I don't even get up till like midday. I've got to be there like
Yeah,
7.
play next season.
I bought my ticket this morning.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. But
I should have gone and spent a lot of money from.
I would play
From that beautiful.
and I was
All right.
Chloe, give us a smile. This is Uncle Warren's thing.
This is
Can I
funny.
take one because that was pretty? Uncle Warren doesn't get to have a
Oh, just got a fancy phone.
Yeah, I have. Over there.
We'll take some other photos afterwards. This is the first time ever the kids
Okay, it's almost done now.
You sure?
I'm sure.
That's 3 times you've said sure.
She's not sure.
See, now he's in good value with the microphones off,
Yeah,
isn't he?
right, yeah. Come on, my phone, otherwise she's all over. I'm going to stop here.
Nearly
That's going to
finished.
stay.
Here we go.
Now we're going to go back to Paige and Rebecca now.
Just 2 more questions. What was it like captaining the All Stars?
As I mentioned before, captaining the All Stars has been the best honour in my career over 20 years, and I had an opportunity to co-captain in 2013 with another lady from Queensland, and that sort of gave me the taste of what leadership is like and what you need to do in a role, and the difference between just being a player, I guess, and then going to that captaincy role, and sort of what sort of additional things you might come along with that captaincy. I also captained the team in 2019 in Melbourne. That was the
Really
first
the right
game
thing.
ever against the Indigenous Māori team. But yeah, 2017 once again was the captaincy that I'll never forget at Newcastle here on home soil, to be able to lead out my women, lead the dance, create a dance that sort of was special to our team and represent all of the communities and mobs where we're from, was extremely special. And you know, there's no better feeling than being a leader within your team and having young people and the next generation look up to you and sort of say, that's where I want to be and that's what I want to do. And my main message to those girls as a captain was to make sure that, you know, they feel comfortable and confident in what they're saying, and to be open with their communication. And if they don't feel right about something, have the confidence to step up and stand up and say what they want to say.
What was your experience and how was it touring Samoa?
Yeah, so my first ever year I played, I had Bub, and 2 weeks after I had my baby girl, I got a flyer to say come and try out for the Indigenous All Stars. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to have a go at this. So she was only 6 weeks old when I trialled, and I wanted to, you know, just go out and play some good footy, and I was able to be selected in the first ever Indigenous Women's All Stars team in 2011. That year went on to play for New South Wales in the State of Origin, and then was fortunate enough to get picked up for the Australian Deliveries to go over and tour Samoa. So I've been, you know, with my footy, it's not only just about the football, but I've had the opportunities to go to England, Canada, Fiji, Samoa, New Zealand, all around the world, Papua New Guinea, to play footy. And I would never have had that opportunity if footy didn't give me that. So for me, that first ever tour was the most amazing experience culturally as well that I've ever had, to be able to go to Samoa, play footy over there, and see the passion not only in Australia but all around the world for rugby league. And just before I go, I just wanted to present Paige. I've got a shirt from the Indigenous All Stars women's team, so just wanted to present that to Paige for inviting me here today, and just make sure that she's got something to wear when we play in February next year. So there's your shirt, sis, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.